I'm in Buffalo because I went to the Buffalo Kids store and we were in there, and you have a comic up, like a Westside Gunn comic up.
I sure do.
And it takes up, like, that's a main focus.
Yeah.
And the amount of people who take pictures of that compared to any of the other, like, amazing art there. I mean, yours is amazing, but it's a focus point.
Yeah. That's kind of how I planned it to be. That's when we were setting it up. You know, he gave me carte blanche in the building. You know what I mean? I was one of the first people to hit up. So the way it worked out was he needed a bunch of sign work and stuff. So he came to my shop. And it was funny because, like, that dude's an early riser. Like, I'm a late dude. Like, surprisingly, I came here on time. But if it's in the morning, like, doors say 9, I'm not strolling until like 10. So I get there and he's waiting in the parking lot, and he comes in the shop. I open up the keys, you know, whatever. And he's got a mask on and everything because COVID. And he's like, "Yo, what's up, man?" I'm like,
you know who he is when he's in the parking lot?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, no, not in the parking lot. When he comes in, okay. I open the door, I open the light, turn the lights on, all that shit. And he comes in and I'm like, "Oh, bro, don't even like." I just come in and dab him up. I'm like, "Don't even say anything." Yeah.
The most unique voice.
Yeah. So actually, besides the mural, I did a bunch of other stuff in there too, but like nobody knows about that. I don't like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been there pretty much since he opened, since he got the keys. But anyways, so what had happened was I did a piece for Camouflage Monk, right? Mm-hmm. And well, actually, to even start that, before that, I made a book called Volantis, right? It was like my first comic I ever made. And it got picked up by local press. It was in like local papers and stuff. And through that, Camouflage Monk hit me up. And I did a album cover for him for a joint he did with like Conway and Your Old Droog and Huss Kingpin. I want to say Mock Holly might be on it too. I'm not sure. But anyways.
What year was that?
2017.
Okay.
So I did a cool like wraparound cover for them. And if you watch like the Griselda on Steroids tour, I'm actually in the backstage with them. I had like this big printout and everybody signed it and shit. And like,
oh, wow.
I'm talking to Wes, I'm talking to all them, whatever. So anyways, from that, I got commissioned to do another kind of like comic panel piece for Westside. It was just like a private thing. I did a Hall and Nash, like kind of the same layout and everything. And so he knew me when he came in the store. He was like, "Oh yeah, you did this." And I had a bunch of prints on me, and I was like, "Yo, give these to your kids." You know what I mean? I gave him a bunch of prints. And he comes back in the store. He's like, "Yo, I want you to do a mural." And I was like, "Done."
Yeah. What?
Done.
Like, yeah.
Done. So I told him, you know, I kind of work from a script. So like, you got to give me some direction. I had the idea in my head already. Right. Mm-hmm. So when I'm doing like something like that, the point is to tell a story in one layout. Right. So you got to have a beginning, middle, end. So if you look at it, I took what he gave me, like he wrote the text. Can you explain the story for listeners? Yeah. So we basically adapted Dr. Bird's, the song, or is it Dr. Bird's? Yeah, it's Dr. Bird's, yeah. Right? So tell Virgil, write brick on my brick. You know what I mean? So the whole point of the mural is that, you know, Griselda's at a wrestling event downtown, showcases your location. We're in Buffalo. You know what I mean? They're watching the shit. They notice that Virgil's there, but Virgil is under the trance of fucking the evil Dr. Bird. So that was fun because I got to design him. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to take like the art style from the actual Dr. Bird's restaurant, like the sign. It's got like this like funky, like red and yellow kind of like pattern kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I gave him like this weird like doctor / like chef coat with like these like flame trails and shit. And
yeah, the long white coat.
Yeah, and I made him just look like an asshole. You know what I mean? Like I wanted him to look like that guy you just don't want to cross. Mm-hmm. And it's not because like he's gonna kick your ass or anything. It's just because he's a fucking like life drainer, you know? Yeah. Like just a hater kind of dude, you know, like me no fuck with them dudes. You know what I mean? Like I just fucking did not want that guy. So anyways, so they're at a wrestling match, comes across Virgil. He wants to, you know, get Virgil to write brick on his brick. So that he's got that custom piece, you know. Dr. Bird stands in his way, so they have to wrestle. Mm-hmm. And Gunn fucking drops the elbow, breaks the spell, and Virgil writes brick on his brick. Boom. There it is.
Perfect. Yeah. And it's so brilliant. And it works. It's a full story just in that one thing.
Right.
Did you had it immediately?
Yeah, pretty much.
How long did it take you to draw it up?
A minute, because the size of the wall, I knew
it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. So I knew I had to make it at a high enough like resolution and everything that I could expand it. So I think I drew it like as a 4-foot piece, like 4 foot high.
Had you ever done something like that before?
Not really. Kind of, maybe. I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I knew how I wanted to execute it, just because I have like experience doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just, I kind of freeballed it, but it all worked out. It took a minute to draw. I'm not going to lie, just because it's so detailed. Like you can get lost in the details in there.
Yeah,
for sure. Like every chain has a link in it, like crisscross, like links.
Your lines. We were talking about this going through tough stuff. Like you are so intricate with your details that every little piece, no matter how mundane it is in the overall grand scheme of things, you just have to pay attention to it.
Yeah. My goal when I make art is for you to get lost in it. I want you to keep returning to it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make something you just kind of glance at it. I want you to go back and analyze it and find something new, so that, it has more value that way in my idea.
So it took you, how long did it take you to make?
To draw? On and off. I don't know. I did it, I think, within 2 weeks, but I wasn't doing it like full time. I would chip away at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you presented it to him for the first time, how did he react?
Well, I would text him like layouts of it. So like I'd do like a sketch, and then I would, as I progressed, I would give him updated shots of it. Cause I did it digitally. I didn't draw it by hand. I mean, I drew it by hand, but I did it on with an Apple Pencil and shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was just updating him, and he was just, fire. Dope. You know what I mean? Dope. That's it.
Giving you free reign. Yeah.
Yeah. Very easy to work with. Cool dude.
That's
love
awesome.
Him. Yeah.
What else did you work and do in that store? You said you've done a lot of other stuff.
So I did the scorpions on the outside windows.
Oh, wow.
And I did the fuck next week sign.
Shout out.
I did the Libby's lemonade. So yeah.
Shout out Libby's lemonade. Yeah, I want to say it was delicious. Not for nothing. I thought it was going to be like a little like, you know what I mean? Not worth the hype.
Oh, no,
it's delicious. They were giving out free samples of a new one, and it was, man.
Did you get the strawberry one?
Yeah, it was the strawberry one.
Fire.
Yeah.
Mad, like syrupy. It's like super sweet.
Is that is cool. So you've of course been to the store since, were you there opening day?
Yeah.
Was that crazy to see that turnout, especially for like, I mean, you're a part of that.
Yeah. And what pissed me off was like, I was trying to get in, security was like, nah, nobody's getting in unless they wait in line. And I'm like, I see Skis. I'm like, yo, what's up? I see Monk. I'm like, fuck this shit. So I went to the front of the line initially, and they're like, nah, you got to go back. So I'm like, I'm waiting in line. My buddy walks by me. He's like, yo, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm waiting to go in here. He's like, you got to wait in line. I'm like, you're right. That's fucked up, right? So I text one of the people that works there that I had been in contact with, and I was like, yo, can you just let me in real quick? Because they could only let so many people in at a time,
right?
Because of COVID and everything. So she was like, yeah, just come up to the front. And like, they were like not having it, but they let me in. It was cool. I had no beef. You know what I mean? Chopped it up with Wes real quick. Got some hats and shit and bounced. I wasn't trying to overstay my welcome. I just wanted to
Were you able to? It's a very rushed when you're in there, even if like we got to spend probably like 15, 20 minutes in there, which was wild, just, chopping it with Monk and everything. But it is a rushed experience. Like, I feel like I can't enjoy it as a gallery.
Yeah.
I'm not from Buffalo, so I only come on the big rush days. So it is like an experience. But were you able to enjoy the wow, I'm a part of this? It was. I don't know anything else like that in rap history. It was created that day.
Yeah. Somewhat. I mean, it's cool. I got, people know that I did it. That's dope. I get opportunities open up. People take me more seriously. I'm validated, So that's all dope. I mean, as far as what was cool about that? I chopped it up with Isaac Palayo. And that was cool because I wanted to meet him and pick his brain a little bit too. So it was cool to talk to him. I met brother A.A. Rashid if you see on my like socials, I got a picture of me and Wes. He took that picture. So like that's pretty dope, right?
It's so he shout out a amazing dude, been on the podcast, did mushrooms on the podcast. Great, like amazing dude. It was cool. I was talking to Guy, and I had a pretty custom Rebirth hoodie on, and he comes up and he's like, "Can I take a picture of your hoodie?" And I was like, "Can I take a picture with you? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're literally like." He's one of my favorite. Like when I got him on, it was that was like a dream guest in the beginning.
That was another thing. When I first met him, Gunn was like, "Do you know who this is?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. Like, I'm just trying to work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, and they introduced me. I'm like, oh, okay, dope. You know what I mean? Like, didn't resonate with me, and I hate when that happens because I've had a lot of moments like that, like in my life, where I'll meet someone like super dope, and it doesn't process in my brain because I'm not fixated on it at that moment.